I definitely want to make a little quick video about Bitcoin and all the adoption that's happening right now. And it is kind of funny. So, people close to me, I got them set up. I got them something like wallet set up, and I sent them my own Bitcoin just to get them started, and so they can see how it works a little bit, and tell them to basically use it as a 401k, you know what I mean? Like, use your Bitcoin wallet as a 401k, as some type of basically a savings account. That's how I view it. Other people do think differently with their Bitcoin, but that's how I view Bitcoin. It's basically just a savings. It's sort of like a retirement. There's a lot of adoption. When I see people on Twitter, like, they're sitting here like, oh, blah blah blah, this cycle, this is gonna happen in this cycle, and it's like, what cycle are you talking about? We're seeing adoption happening. So two big things happened over this last week with Bitcoin. One is the first Bitcoin reserve went into law in New Hampshire. That's the first one. And so last night, or yesterday, Arizona just passed one too. And they're not going to use their funds to buy Bitcoin or whatever, like New Hampshire is. And they're basically, they're going to take whatever assets they have, and if they want to, they can flip it into Bitcoin or whatever they're going to do. So that's huge. And here in Missouri, apparently, they passed a law that there's no capital gains tax on crypto. And that's massive. This is what I'm talking about. You're seeing BlackRock buy more. You're seeing Vivek Ramaswamy's company buy Bitcoin. This is what once you see the government adopting Bitcoin, there's only so much of a supply. That's what I've been saying. There's only so much of a supply of Bitcoin. So in order to keep some type of supply on the exchanges, they're going to probably at some point have to limit how much Bitcoin you can actually purchase. You're not going to be able to purchase probably like huge chunks of Bitcoin like these, because they have to adjust the prices for there's only so much Bitcoin to be created a day. It's pretty cool. It's pretty funny. I'm walking past my old job, and they rejected me for I applied for second shift supervisor, and they rejected me. That's pretty funny. I like it. Anyway, so like, watch when this truck passes. This is stuff I used to paint. I used to paint that stuff right there. Anyway, so yeah, you're seeing more and more of adoption of Bitcoin. That's what's happening. And I don't look at this as a cycle. I look at this as adoption. Like I said, there's going to be, the reason why the price goes up because there's not enough supply. People are holding on to it, and people will sell. Like, for instance, for me, if it goes up high enough, yes, I'm going to sell Bitcoin. Not all of it, but I'm going to sell a good portion of it. Well, so I can buy some, I like to have a house. I like to have maybe some property. So, like, you think I'm just going to sit here and keep living like crap just to hold? No, I don't care about being like 100 millionaire or whatever. I don't care about that. This is some of the stuff I used to paint. Anyway, so yeah, I don't care about being lavishly rich. My goal is to be able to pass Bitcoin down to people I care about. But, like, dude, I want to live in a nice, safe area. I want to live in a nice, I don't have to have like the nicest the nicest place. Like, I don't want to be in a mansion or nothing like that, but it's more like I'm fine with living in a 2-3 bedroom house in a nice neighborhood, rather than living in a 5 bedroom huge house in a crappy neighborhood. And that's where I'm at. So yeah, I think that it's just like with Bitcoin, people would have to like do their research and, you know, do the, you know, like I said, do their due diligence. And, you know, the Cash App Bitcoin is an ETF. That's not real Bitcoin. If you can't transfer it, it's not real Bitcoin. I'm looking at PayPal. I want to see if, like, it looks like that you can buy real Bitcoin off of PayPal. So I'm gonna run a little bit of an experiment today. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, like, some people are too afraid to custody Bitcoin, which I get it, and they just want to go with the ETF because there's a lot of responsibility to custody Bitcoin. You know, you got to make sure that you can get back into your wallet, your digital wallet, or your ledger, your cold storage ledger. And if you can't, then it's like I made the mistake to have my kid at the time. He was kind of small, and I had him write down the 12 words, and luckily not much Bitcoin was in there. So basically what I did about, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, I decided to, you know, make a couple wallets for my kids and put $100 in it each, and now it's like now the Bitcoin's worth like $184 or whatever. I don't know. Could be higher because Bitcoin has gone up. And here's the thing too, it's like you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You don't have, like, it's not like stocks where you have to buy the whole stock. You can just buy a little bit of a Bitcoin. So a lot of people I try to talk to in real life, they don't really care. And it's kind of funny because I'm still early, and it is frustrating. Because I did tell people the information a few years ago, and it kind of forced my kid to invest. He didn't regret it after that. But yeah, it's people's eyes are gonna open when it starts becoming more and more mainstream. Banks, I think that Oregon just passed something yesterday. I seen that or this morning that it's legal to borrow against your Bitcoin in Oregon. So this is what I'm saying, like, you're seeing more accepting of blockchain technology, and it's going to become more and more normalized, and people will feel like they're left out. Well, like, you're not left out. You're not going to make the massive gains that you would have made of if you, like, would have invested a few years ago or 10 years ago. But still, you know, it's weird to see how early I am. I'm really but yeah, Texas is the next in line to try to create a Bitcoin reserve. So you can see that if there's only so many Bitcoin, and all these institutions, you know, companies, government, you know, they're gonna get their crypto, they're gonna get whatever they're trying to get. There's gonna be less Bitcoin out there, so the price is going to increase. If you want to get the Bitcoin, well, there's not that much of a supply, so the price is going to skyrocket, especially when the rich people decide to get their head out of their ass and they FOMO into it. It would be kind of funny to see him. Like, honestly, it would be funny just to, like, wake up in the next couple of days, or in a month or 2 months, or who knows, couple of years, and you see Bitcoin like $10 million. That would be crazy. But at some point it will be, because the devaluation of our currency. That's part of the reason why Bitcoin is so high. But yeah, do your research. Not financial advice.